Good morning, rise and grind. It's time for another Wake and Bake with the Growskis. I'm Skillbo1, and as always,
I'm Sequence. What do you think? We finished each other's sandwiches.
Telling you, man, you do this long enough, right? Good morning, guys. How's it going, Tara? How's it going, Dan?
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
I shut my phone off.
Wake and Bake with the Growskis. Get your Frozen references in early. Tara, take me hands here. We had 20 plus people in the chat waiting for the show to even start. Very excited about that. That's really early. Yes. I'm wondering who is still awake and who woke up for this thing. That's important to know. But let's go around the table real quick, and then we'll talk about some stuff. Dan, we'll do you first. Tara's saying hi to everyone in the chat.
Good morning. Thank you for showing up with us. I'm Dankman Dan. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me Sunday nights at 9 p.m. with the Michigan Bros Growth Show. You can find me Thursday mornings with these fine folks and all of you guys every Thursday, 6 a.m. Wake and Bake with the Growskis.
Super happy to have you here, Dan. It's a shame that I don't get to see you as often as I do, but this show really helps with that.
It does.
Tara, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody?
Where can everyone find you, Tara?
Tara Wilson, 1409 on Instagram.
Tara
Good morning.
Wilson, 1409. Good morning. I'm great. How are you, Skillbo?
I am fantastically waking up.
All right. You can find Skillbo at Skillbo1, IG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17. All the way to 17. He's on there. Wait, I'm seeing Nature Boy in the chat. Okay, so now I know who's in the Discord.
You're learning, right?
Okay. Well, we have Nature Boy in the chat, but everybody uses different names on different
platforms.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Porch Farmer.
Is this the same now?
Now it's the same, but before.
I always thought it was funny. I was like, why is it Porch Farmer? He goes, I actually have a plant on my porch. I was like, oh, okay.
He's got so it's literal.
He's got a plant scrogged on his porch, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah, outdoors. I always thought it was weird to scrog outdoor plants until I did an entire greenhouse that way.
Oh, I think some of those ones that you have out there, if they were not scrogged, would definitely be a bitch later on.
We got a lot of compliments on the canopy management, like how level it was and stuff, and that's definitely got to be attributed to that.
Yeah, you really only had like a couple that were outliers on that, like the what was that, the garlic storm?
Garlic storm's like about a foot taller, foot and a half taller maybe, and then some of the ones that went in later. So like I had a sour melon that went in late, and then a skunk one that went in late. You can tell they're like 10 days behind in veg as far as how big they got. And then like Mac 1 is obviously a little bit smaller than the rest of the plants, but GMO didn't outrun the Mac, and it's pretty nice to see that the net.
That's pretty consistent.
Fresh Cut and I have both agreed that we need to run a lot more Mac 1 next year, because the more we smoke as Spartans. I haven't smoked one bud of Mac 1 that anyone has grown except for Spartan. And
you should get a lot more veg time next year too, right? You guys are so much farther ahead.
So much farther ahead by having a greenhouse already. Because we didn't get to start putting plants in until the middle of June this year.
But if you look at the size of what he's working with out there, he's maximized his space. He has his walkways in between his aisles, but I mean, it's not like he's got a bunch of runditos out there. That Mac 1 is probably what?
It's probably like 5 feet.
That's what I'm thinking too, and probably about as far as around too. So that's a nice one.
You know what you should do is get yourself one of them pool depthness charts you can stick in there so people get a grand size for how big your shit really is.
I thought about
pictures don't do it justice.
You need the stick that goes with the Transit.
Yeah, except bigger.
I just need to run out of the bank and have him take a picture of me next to the thing. How tall was he? Sign and then
carry the plant when you're doing it.
Yeah,
blow your back out.
I've got a picture of me holding a plant when I was transplanting from 5s to 45s, and you can't even see me, my head, my body, or anything. And the plants are 10 times that big now.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's super cool.
Thank you, Cave Diver.
Cave Diver said hi to everyone. Oh, Cave Diver donated to the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Cave Diver.
Grows is here. Tara's here. Lori's here. Skibble, you want to shout everyone out in the chat like you like to do?
It must be dab time. We're going to do this real quick, folks. Let everybody
You don't
get
have
this.
to.
No, that's fine. I would like to start off by saying good morning to DOG. Cheer Bro Grows, what's up? And we have, who else? Dankman Dan and Tara's just clogging the chat early on. Me, All Flower, good morning. And we have, let's see, yeah, man, we got some happy folks here. B-Bear, what's up? And good morning, Rob. Rob is always hanging out. Oh, Madam Euphoria, how are you this morning, ma'am? Can a bus driver? I think that's what everybody needs right now. Good morning, Gabe. Rasta K is back for more. And of course, Cave Diver, we shouted you out. Trey, good to see you again. Brittany, woot woot, what's up? And we do have Porch Farmer is listening to us this morning. So I didn't even make the comment thinking he was listening.
Yeah. Joe says I need to get a life-size bobblehead. I actually have a picture of my head that is bigger than my head, believe it or not, that my boss made for me. So maybe I'll yeah, it's on my buddy's wall in his pool room.
Your buddy has a picture of your head on his wall.
It's a long story, but it's relevant to cannabis, so I'll tell you real quick.
Cool. That's cool.
One of my best friends has a giant 3x4 picture of my face on his wall. And on the hat, it says, "This is where the magic happens." Because that's the sign that's on my door at work. My boss made it for me. And I had given it to my friend's dad because my friend, it was as a joke, really. I didn't think he was going to do anything with it, but he hung it on his wall. And then my friend's dad was the one that taught myself and him how to grow. He was our mentor in the whole thing. Well, last year he passed away from cancer. So my buddy put it on his wall. So now it's in his billiard room in his house. There's a giant picture of my face on the wall that'll never go anywhere.
Wow.
It's got that story attached to it. And Skillo still has your cannabis.
That's crazy. And that's a very good story. I mean, so there's a lot of
neat
behind it too.
Yeah. I think I'm even wearing the same hat.
Amazing.
I wore the Lions hat for a reason, because we're setting up a show fantasy football league. So we have about half of the spots filled. So if anyone in the chat wants to join or whatever, send me a message with your email and you can join. We're gonna play some fantasy football. No entry fee or anything like that.
Thank you, DOG.
Thank you, DOG.
Thank you
very much.
Very much. Thank you. We have such good people in our community and our family here. Wow.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah.
I mean, it started with you guys. You guys were the original couple people in the chat that were support. Like, we were streaming for 15 people, originally, and it's pretty cool to see all of this growth that we've had as a show. You guys have always been there.
You know what? And it was cool to be on the other side in the chat, watching you guys grow, and look at us now.
You can remember when it was, 25, 26 people for, quite a while. So it's awesome.
Weren't you guys originally a podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's how I found them. I was driving.
I've never listened to a podcast in my life.
Oh my gosh. I was driving home one night from work, surfing, just trying to find something to listen to. And I came across it and listened to one, and then ended up listening to another one as soon as I got home, listened the next day. And then I just started, I was on it. It just clicked. And I'm not really, I've watched other shows, but nothing's ever connected to me enough that I wanted to watch it enough or listen to it enough to continue.
They say that you attract your tribe or whatever, right? And I think we've learned that when we do our live meetups and stuff, everybody is very, very much already friends and very much gets along, and we're very much on the same wavelength. when we meet up, even if we've never met before. And having talks like this and chats and all that stuff helps a lot. But
Well, yeah, I mean, you build up a friendship and a kinship prior to meeting in person, and that just carries through.
But imagine meeting everybody that you talk to on, Reddit or something.
Right.
Like it could be real awkward, but we have a super cool community.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, about the Michigan Bros Grow Show is, it does state Michigan in the title, so it kind of makes it sound inclusive, but it's not. We have many people from many different regions that watch the show and participate. So it's not just an inclusive to Michigan. But that's what
more regions than you think,
it.
man.
What's that?
More regions than you think, man.
Oh,
We've
I
got
imagine
people in Sri Lanka and Hong Kong and Lebanon, and I'm not even making these up, watching the
That's
show.
amazing.
Yep.
In fact, if you guys hang out later on Monday nights for the late sesh, you will see our international community start to come out. Our late sesh is their wake and bake. So Red and I always think that's a cool part. Shout out Red Setter Farm.
Here's Red.
We have a lot of New Zealand fans. Shout out to Sherbros. I have a New Zealand show watcher that uses his full name to watch, so I won't shout him out right now. But props to you guys. Thank you for watching the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for getting up and waking and baking with us.
Dro, sisters can be bros too.
I'm a dude.
I'm a dude.
I'm a dude. In this sense, I'm a dude.
I don't know if you have
We're
to
gonna
be
change your
dude
name
to
to
be a
Terry.
bro. You just got to have the vibe.
I got the vibe.
No,
We're all
she's chuckling. Grow bros and grow sisters.
I'd like to give a shout out to Operation Grow, UK SIF, CES. Who else did I not get? Strelhow, What's Happening? Herb Growing Legal, Bob Grows. Yeah, man. Peter Griffin is
Got a
back
yeah,
on.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
I forgot what show I was on. I'm sorry.
So what are we rolling, Tara?
Sour melon.
Sour melon, awesome.
Gotta get this party started. Compliments to sequence.
And what I held up was
Truck home.
Dan's Crescendo.
You're smoking Dan's Crescendo.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Good.
I am smoking roaches.
Oh,
No way.
My God, man.
You've got to be lying.
the
I am
roach
not,
coach.
dude. I am not lying. I am not.
What
Just-
the hell?
Did you fucking feel nostalgic or something or what?
Oh, man.
Love you.
Just it's where I'm at. It's where I'm at. I'm not too proud.
Dan's Dankrupt?
I was totally.
Dank man Dan is Dankrupt
The
Dan?
other night rolled a total roach doobie. Total one. Just because I wanted to. It was awesome.
Well,
You are
Yeah,
not
I
allowed
got-
to move up here.
I got quite a collection of them. So,
What the fuck did we put on our show sequence? Jesus.
Jeez.
Christ.
Yikes, dude.
yeah, this guy bring a roach joint then.
Gilbo, you know you would too.
Well, if you're Dankrupt, you're Dankrupt.
He's like, I would have named it something. Full disclosure here.
Did you get
Dan
bougie
pressed
with it
all
and
of
get
his
the
flour. That's the problem.
No, I haven't
roach
pressed
turds.
flour in a long time. I only press
Oh,
flour.
yeah, you sifted it and pressed it, but
Yeah, I only press flour when people have me press their flour. I don't press my
Yeah.
own flour anymore. It's just not.
it's not fun to collect, that's for sure. Anyone that has any experience collecting flour rosin off of parchment knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep. Gotta freeze it. Pain in the ass. That's all brittle and shatters everywhere.
Good times.
Speaking of pressing, though, Pioji was asking me about the cold room got coming up, and I plan on that's going to start next month, guys. I'll be starting to build out on that next month. So right around the corner, and I'm going to be doing a video documentary of the complete build of that. So I'll have that on my Facebook, or I'm sorry, my Instagram page.
Awesome, man. I'm looking up some info. That's why I'm having trouble talking here.
That's all right. I'm
It's,
hitting this roach joint.
I don't know what direction we're going yet, so I'm just kind of sitting back in the gut and letting.
Well, I'm trying to talk about the event today.
Okay.
So the show and some of the panelists on the show got invited to a grand opening of a provisioning center today.
Great.
So I'll be there. It's pretty cool. It was like an invite-only VIP type experience. So
Yeah, sweet.
shout out to Miss C for getting us all the hookup. But there'll be a lot of the show panelists on there. Spartan and Abolished Red. Basically everyone that was time available will be there. So we're going to take some footage and some pictures and stuff. Maybe we'll go live there. I think we have permission to do all of the above. So maybe look for some stuff in about from 7 to 8. We're all going to be there this evening.
Okay.
So it's a really cool looking thing. Yeah. I'm trying to find the actual deal and I can't find it. So I can't. So Instagram only loads about half the chat, half the time. So it's a tough break when you're trying to look something up on a live show. But yeah, they're gonna have rolling stations and social distancing and all of the stuff. But they're only allowing 15 people in at a time, and you had to get tickets per hour. So we're gonna be there all roughly the same time, so we can take some content.
Nice, that'll be awesome.
Shout out to Red Eye Rustler chat.
Like usual, Miss C's the best, and she got
Yep,
the
is the best. That's amazing that they're letting you come in and everything, though.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Really excited to do it. It feels very like VIP like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool, and we'll see what it is, what the dealio is.
And they're in Ann Arbor, right?
I think so. I'll have to find this thing I can't find so I don't end up being late.
Right.
Nice.
Dan, how's the flavor on that fine smoking experience you're having over there? You're not coughing like crazy, so
I'm telling you, even the roaches ain't bad.
Double dipped, baby.
That's what I gotta say. Even the roaches ain't bad.
Just think of it like twice baked potatoes, Dan.
There was many times in my life that I would hunt down them roaches. So like I said, I'm just going back to where I used to be is all.
Very short amount of time for myself, actually. I've not had the pleasures like y'all had for as long as you have, so it's definitely my goodness that I've got here. I've not gotten to have that for very long. What the heck did I say something that you're laughing at me for?
Oh shit, I just forget the struggle, man.
I'm still laughing at the fact you willingly rolled a roach joint. Just maybe for perspective.
Totally. Okay, think about it, guys. I mean, the stuff that everybody grows, you would not seriously roll a roach joint? Seriously? I mean, we've got some of the best stuff around. Don't.
I roll with tips, so I haven't seen a roach in forever.
Yeah.
So
I don't roll tips unless I'm with people. But man, I'm out of weed, man. Fuck, I don't know what to say. I'm out of weed. My stuff not ready.
Partying too big up there, man.
I got a bunch of weed, but it's not ready. So
yeah, you'll run into that. We do a lot of these.
Save on the terps, so
yeah, good luck.
Okay, so in this instance, how do you feel about this? I know when I first started growing and was getting a shitbag return, I wasn't able to grow enough to last in between cycles. So what I would end up doing is I would harvest like one arm of the plant like a week early so that it was hanging and drying. Maybe it's not as potent as everything else, but at the same time, it kept me from having to resort to other ways to smoke. At the same time, that's also where I came through and I would use the tincture in my coffee in the morning. So I was still getting some kind of cannabis in my system jumpstart and everything. And really, if you think about it, that's kind of what Dan's doing too.
See, you told me
baby, I'm just trying to get right, baby.
No, no. Yeah, it's just I'm on low supply, and yeah, man, I got plenty of roaches. Holy fuck, they're like half joints, so it only takes like 3 roaches to roll a great big old hog. So it ain't that bad.
Cave Diver says you need to hit up your peeps, but the problem is, Dan, you live forever away.
Forever away.
Not really, man. Well, yeah, man, I can't disclose everything.
He's got his
Right.
homies.
I know you got some homies, but
yeah, man, we're tight.
you live forever away.
When I sell out, I go to them and I try to sell them out. So
yeah, well done, man.
It is what it is.
That's. Let's talk about geography for a minute here. Let's start our lesson early. That's
I'm like
top,
way up here, guys.
I told people, I said, once you get into the fingertips, it gets to be a little more sparse. But you think about
not an afternoon trip for me to stop up and hand you a jar or anything.
Yeah, for me to come down to the greenhouse or visit whatever, it'd be a whole day issue, which is no big deal, and we're gonna have to set something up, sequence for sure.
It is for me too,
for sure, man.
I missed almost officially missed my first Bro Show Live, just in transportation time back from the greenhouse. So, and then for tonight's event for the opening, I will not be able to attend. I have to work, and that's going to be a bummer.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, man. But
you could find somebody to help you.
No, man.
Really?
No.
This is what happens when you're the top dog. Yep.
Yeah, the wheels fall off. Like the last time that I took
my days off, it's the same thing.
Shit. We had some event that I had to take off for that was a Saturday, and that was basically like the last time. I'm like, all right, I can't leave for a good 60, 90 days. I got to get these cats right first.
Well, they're lucky to have you.
Yes.
Oh, nice. DOG's got a Growskis shirt. Shirt. I sent some shirts down there, so we finally got some shirts out of Michigan. Well, far out of Michigan.
Sweet.
Yeah, Michigan is pretty big.
Apps are deceptive, man. Yeah. Like you said, Alaska over the United States, and it's half of it. Maps are crazy.
Maps, yo. Maps.
Dros's distance is always measured in time. That's so true. I'm 25 minutes away.
With you guys, it kind of is that way because no one's close.
Tara drives 95 miles an hour, so she makes great time when she decides to fly up to the pit.
I just get on my broomstick.
Give it a little cackle, and away you go.
Yep.
No, we need some of the teleporting mushrooms that Red has.
Oh, Red.
Teleporting mushrooms. One up.
Hell yeah.
Hit the easy button, maybe.
We are rolling up on 6:30 already. We have 53 people chilling with us. I'd like to say good morning to each one of you. Hopefully you're starting your day off right and able to smoke along with us and not be jarred by Tara's clock radio alarm going off from 1984. It sounds like some wham, wake me up before you go or some shit, right?
Yeah,
brutal.
Something like that.
Hey, man, I could probably sing that whole song.
Can you do it in falsetto, though? That's the question. You got to do it in the right pitch.
Probably not.
My voice is too deep. There's no way I could ever do it. When I call people on the phone, they always
My
think
sister used to have these pictures of Wham on her wall and shit. See, I even know who sings that song and stuff.
George Michael.
All right, Tara, who's the other dude?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Don't
Nobody
know.
knows who the other dude is. I don't know.
Ted Nugent.
Something.
Did she have it signed and it had like a paw with a big P and a heart
No,
next to it?
she actually drew a picture, a rendition of both of them. That's how I remember it. Yeah.
Your sister is so glad that you do not use your actual name on this program.
Yeah,
Damn, she was committed if she drew a
sister
picture.
does not watch this show at all. She's not
Exactly.
very friendly at all. Shame on her.
You'll have that.
You will have that.
Yeah.
It is nice though, because here it is 12 years after medical has come through, and the stigma of cannabis definitely is not what it was. Now, it may be individually for some folks and people that you brush up against in your day-to-day life, but for the most part, you know, you don't have to be so afraid if someone asks you if you smoke. You don't have to say, smoke what?
I agree. Yeah.
You know what I
Well-
mean? So it's different. We are coming a long way.
My problem is when somebody who has a family member who has a problem with addiction and they lump cannabis in with addiction. That's where I have a problem.
It doesn't really work the same way.
No, there's a difference. Cannabis didn't cause a problem for addiction. You have an addictive personality
Right.
if you have an addiction. That's just my opinion. But anyway,
Well,
Oh, it's
sometimes there's an
fine.
overlap between habits and addictions, but they are not one and the same.
no, I'm saying that you can't be addicted to pills and blame it on cannabis.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Or
man.
Cannabis started your addiction to pills.
alcohol. Or,
That's
Yeah,
not-
exactly.
you know,
It's the gateway
Yeah,
drug.
then
Yeah.
you know what? That milk's the gateway drug for fucking alcohol. That's the way it works. Your mama's titty is a gateway drug for alcohol. Then sorry, man, I get real upset about this.
my mom's
Riled
titty.
up.
Maybe that's what my son's problem. He had too much titty as a baby, and that's why he likes to drink beer.
Just like Teddy.
Well, I was just giving a
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I'm saying.
We semi-triggered Danny. Had to sit back in the cut. He's like, man, I don't even have any.
Fuck,
fuck-
I'm outta
I don't
here.
have enough fucking smoke to deal
No,
with this bullshit.
actually,
Smoking
No,
a
I
roach
wrote-
joint.
Me and my
I put
roaches
the,
are
I put
outta
the
here.
roach joint down and I'm firing up some fucking.
Yeah, see, he had to step it up a notch. But we got him triggered already. We love you, Dan.
Not triggered. I just just people's perception about cannabis, man. I tell you,
Yeah.
some of the most motivated people I know smoke
Well,
cannabis.
But
on
there
the daily.
was
Yep.
so
All
much
day
fucking
long.
propaganda for the last,
Mhm.
geez, what, 70 years or something like that? You know, since the marijuana craze. So,
Uh,
sequence like my pronunciation of that.
I hate the word marijuana so much.
No, it's not marijuana. It's marijuana.
I heard you.
With an H, man. With an H. Look at your card, bro.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
spelling it like some foreign term.
Our
Yeah,
legal
every-
slave name.
every time I drive up I-75, Humblebee's got this big old sign that says marijuana recreational. Like, man, that's just continuing the stigmata in my
It is. It is. Totally.
Did you say
bullshit.
stigmata or stigma?
He said
I don't
stigma.
know. I did, but I'm dumb like that. I'm just a carpenter, guys.
So was he.
You're a carpenter with all your fingers, dude.
Oh, yeah. How good can you be with 10 digits still?
Not all my
It means you're
teeth.
not cutting very close. Making them rough cuts.
No, yeah, I've learned real quick in the construction industry that you would want to work on the inside. So I tend to do more interior stuff. That way I could work during the snow, rain, and
Dude,
shitty
that's what got me
weather.
out of it. When I was, from the time I was a young kid before I went into service, I was all about that. I'm going to be a carpenter. It was good money. I enjoyed doing it. I was good at it. And then I was like, you know what, man? Kind of sore, because when you get hired, you're the mule at first. So you're just lugging all this shit and having to carry things up and down ladders and stuff. I remember one day I was like done with the job site, got in the car, had my little bowl. Everybody else was gone. Smoked a little bowl. And I was like, I do not want to be 45 years old fucking around up on a roof in January. Fuck this shit.
With knees that don't work and shit.
Well, yeah. Now I think about
No.
what I thought I would be like then as now. I thought I would be like, I wouldn't have a lot of the issues that I have, just breaking down in general. So shout out to young Skilbo for not fucking going down that path.
I
absolutely.
made the same call too. I was working a day job where I had to be on my feet a ton, and I already had a knee injury. The knee injury where I have my card, and I used to get out of work and just be in excruciating pain for hours. And after a while, I was like, got to make a call here and go a different direction. So I did.
Yeah, man.
Now I'm a supervisor, manager type, the guy that you hate at your work that is in his office all the time. That's me.
That's the beauty of the recent, well, maybe not the recent job market, but a few years ago, was that you had options, and you had to realize that just because you started life as a carpenter, that you didn't just necessarily change jobs and go work for different crews, but people change entire careers multiple times through your life. So if you can get 10 years or 15 years out of a career choice, shit, these days that's pretty good, man, because the days of working somewhere for 45 years and getting the golden pocket watch and the party and shit, those days are gone, bro. Not for the average person.
I feel there's a lot of respect out there in trade skills.
Yeah, man.
There's not enough people in the trades. All you young people, get out there. You can make some damn good money in the trade. Find a skill with your hands, man, because you can really
Definitely.
do if you apply yourself, man. That's it.
Yeah, I'm looking at chat, and Porch Farmer is basically echoing the same thing, as that he was, a dock welder for 12 years and ruined his back. Now he sits in an office. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just the way it goes. So you gotta stay grinding. You gotta stay positive, and just realize that everything is temporary. Everything is temporary, man. So don't get caught up in shit. Stay flexible.
This joint's temporary, man.
It's all temporary. Everything is temporary. Everything is impermanent, my friends. Well, that was a bright thought to start the fucking day, right?
That's my GMO that I grew, Scobo.
Oh, man. I finally harvested my room. Everybody's heard me talk about this shit to the point where they're sick and tired of it.
I saw it, dude. You got a lot of plant there. You're going to be trimming for a minute.
I seriously am. Yeah, man.
Can you do me a favor and weigh your yield once?
Sure.
And let me know what you do? Yeah. I know you never do, so.
No, it's just me. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Yeah, I know a lot of growers like that. Like, why would you even bother? But I'm curious. It would have been nice if you weighed them so you would know like what your progress has been.
Right. If I would have weighed the last harvest under the HPS with the same plants, because I don't have any new genetics in there. And then I could have done. Yeah.
Dude, it's got to be almost double.
I bet, dude.
I can tell by what I've got hanging that it's more than that.
More, yeah. It's a lot of plant.
But the problem is that I've made so many changes. I've done that stupid thing that I've been notorious for, and all my friends used to fucking yell at me when I started growing was, you'll never know what it was because you changed too many variables at once. So yes, you had a problem, now you don't. But if you made 3 different changes where I changed my watering, my beds are another cycle newer, and I have new lights. So that's 3 different variables. And the bed being, it sweetens over time. It breaks down over time. The worms in the bed are working more. There's more, since I have more plant above ground, that allows me to defoliate even more foliage into the soil, which helps the worms. So bada boom, bada bing. All I know is I could just smell GG4. That's all I had, and I've got some other stuff in there, but that just gets in there. But last night I was doing the citral glue part of it, so that was really, really nice. Got to hold my grinder away from
citral glue is such an impressive plant, dude.
Very much.
I've grown it outside now, inside a bunch of times. I took 5 more cuts of it just to make sure I don't lose it, because I only had 1 plant of it at one point. I don't know if I'm ever getting rid of that one. That one's a beauty.
I hope not. It's a good one.
There's some that are on the short list, though. There are.
But it's not the same thing as like GG4. You know what you're saying? You're saying
right.
Citral glue. So I
Very
have
different.
GG4 and citral glue. But even though the glue is there, it's the bright notes that comes along with the citral side of things for me that really makes that an enjoyable smoke. I don't want to just get knocked out all the time.
Yeah, I agree. It's got the glue structure to the buds. Well, actually, it's right here. I always point the wrong way. It's got the glue structure to the buds and stuff, and I really have enjoyed how frosty it gets, and it's always vigorous. It's always, like you saw it in the greenhouse, the plant, it's got to be at least
the biggest one in there,
5 or 6 by 6. Mm-hmm. It's super wide and tall.
Yeah.
And yeah.
We'll just realize when we say 6 by 6, we're not talking about a 6-foot circle. When you start doing corner to corner measurements on it, it's a monster. And the thing is going back to our original, very first thing we talked about, which was scrogging outdoors and in the greenhouse. you would really, really struggle with that, because while I love citral glue, it's not the strongest. I mean, it has the glue structure, so we have that, the spaghetti arm things, not to the degree that you get with GG4, but
Yeah, much
you
less.
you would not be able to bring that kind of plant down without some kind of help holding it up.
For sure. I agree.
Shout out to Tara in the 1979 roach clip.
She got the feathered one with the purple, like a
No.
Everyday Mary J makes those, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Right
did.
on.
I
I
need
wasn't
one.
looking. I wasn't looking. No, does
Well,
anybody
hey,
know what those are?
I
Shout
like
out
that
to
it's got a big
giveaway.
handle on it.
Shout
So I
out to
tried
her
to
giveaway.
get this thinking that
Do a
maybe the
giveaway.
guy would like pass it around possibly because it's wood, and I don't know, because my other one's all beaded and jeweled and kind of cute, and I thought this one was a little more kind of guy, and so I could maybe take it around y'all and pass it, but I don't think y'all will pass this still. I
You
think
just
you
don't
guys,
see them no more. You don't
I'll
see
pass a
You
roach
know
clip.
why?
I'm down.
Well,
I don't use tips,
do you know why? Is
so-
because people use tips. So if you don't want to do it,
I just didn't want emos
When I
out
run
there.
out of tips, I
Oh,
quit smoking
dude.
joints. That's how I'm bougie
Wow.
as hell now. Yeah, I'll go buy tips from somewhere else, or it's very like I won't even roll. I'll be pissed off that I left the house without tips, and it's super annoying.
Well, dude, yeah.
Red and I
know
are the
that
only ones
next
that don't
time I
really
roll
use them.
a joint around you guys and shit, I'll make sure they're all tipped out.
No, wait a minute. Spartan doesn't use them either. So me, Red, and Spartan don't.
I don't hate it. Like if we're in a big circle, it doesn't matter as much. But if it's me and Skilbo smoking together, that means I have to hit half of the joint. So that's like a lot more than if there's 15 of us and you roll a joint that doesn't have a tip. I'm gonna hit it like 3 times. So
I got what you're saying.
yeah, to me that's a big difference.
Wow. Shout out to Tommy Trichomes. I am having the last piece of this purple cake as part of a salad, and it's mighty fine.
Yeah, he looks to have a nice farm too.
He does, and it's outdoors.
Yeah.
I'm curious on how he's gonna do versus us, towards the end of the season. Like this part of the year is really early, but now I know he does it a lot, so he's probably got some strategies, but I don't have them yet, so I'm curious how we'll do.
Shout out to Doc Dankenstein as well. Same thing. You know what I mean? He does his indoor
Yeah.
and his outdoor.
Well, his outdoor is going under some sort of a canopy too. So, and I think Tommy's is as well. I think his is set up so he can just put a thing over the top.
Cover it.
I'm pretty sure it is. I thought it looked like it.
And if so, he's going to do just fine. Doc's plants look great. When we were over at his house, they were already like 3.5 feet tall, and now they're
As big as him.
like 6 foot, easy.
And a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, big bushes.
Because he's
Yeah,
really tall.
Mine's about 9 feet wide, and about 5 feet tall.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I have to crawl almost under it to get to the back side of it.
I'm gonna have to make another trip up to see that.
It's stupid.
It's so funny.
Oh, but okay, listen, I'm gonna do some bitch.
I'm going to do some bitching. Let's hear about your, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my little neighbor, right? Sweet little 83-year-old woman lived there. I've lived here for 20 years. All right, this little sweet old lady, 83-year-old neighbor, got this beautiful little pole barn, and she got this light on it, right? Never been on in 20 fucking years. Her son moves in.
Replaces the light.
Yeah, this 55-year-old guy, 60-year-old guy moves in. Him and I kind of didn't really hit off very well with him. He's very nosy, kind of in your business kind of guy. Yeah, so we put up this fence around our property now. Now I got this plant growing. Now this light's coming on at fucking night, shining right at the top of my fucking greenhouse.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm getting real pissed off, and I'm gonna have to go say something or shoot that fucker out.
BB gun it, dude.
He'll just put another one up.
Yeah, but if you BB gun it once a day for a couple weeks, he's not going to put the light up again. And how could he prove it's you? You're good.
Damn
Yeah,
kids in the neighborhood.
He's gonna get that wise camera action going on.
Yeah, you know Dan's got a bunch of
of
kids running around his neighborhood.
It just, it's annoying. And you want to hear a funny story about it? Okay, I've been complaining about this guy to my friends who live around here for about a week now. Birdwatcher 420. You guys know who he is, right?
Duck watcher, yeah.
Yep. So I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna shoot this fucker out, man, tonight. And then like 5 minutes later, Trish was out front. She's like, oh my gosh, the cops are out front. Now it's dark out now. The
That's
cops are out
hilarious.
front. Got somebody pulled over. So I ran out there and grabbed a fucking picture of it. The cops out there with their lights on.
Man down, man down.
I sent it to
Pretended you got
Birdwatcher.
arrested.
Do you see him get
Send it to
PTSD? He
Birdwatcher.
said the cops and dropped the shit like, oh.
I said, motherfucker, I'm on the run. And he's all laughing and shit. It was just funny, but
Birdwatcher is so funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, we've been battling this. I should just go talk to the guy because he probably shut it off or let me. It does have a deflector on it, but it could be bigger. And
Maybe he could just angle it a little bit differently so that.
well,
doesn't
it
actually
can't be
go.
angled because it's. I'll move my greenhouse next year because I can move it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe you guys can make an agreement for a month or two.
Well, and then I told that 420 wife, maybe we'll just put our buildings there, the hash room. That would block it. But yeah, it's kind of on the ass right now, man. Piss me off. I mean,
Struggles growing outside, man.
I don't see it affecting it anything yet. I don't see no balls popping, but damn, pissing me off.
The
And then I got
greenhouse.
another thing is you can see, like when you're driving by my house now, the fucking plant's so big, you can see it over the fence. Stupid. Block it.
Nectar Life, dude.
Yeah, Cocoa Life.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't have done that.
Coco's so good.
It is. It's too good out there. Yeah.
Our greenhouse neighbor has a light on his barn also, but it's really far away, so I'm not too concerned about it. The greenhouse has like a full moon level light on it almost all the time, but not like.
And you know, this light is on constantly, so it's not like a interruption. And I don't know. Who knows?
Right. As long as it's not super strong, you might be okay.
It's probably like a 250 watt metal halide, or one of them exterior bulbs.
Yeah, sodium.
Yeah, something. Damn it.
Yep, the struggle of growing outdoors for sure. And then 5 years from now, it'll be your neighbor that's growing his hemp plants.
Oh, the hemp plants are doing good, man. We only got 2 left. But yeah, they're really budding out, man. This one's probably going to have a 4-foot tall cola. It's going to be amazing, man. I mean, it's huge. I should post a picture.
And what are you going to do with that when you harvest it?
Well, hopefully we're looking for the CBD, so we'll harvest it early. Probably, I'm assuming like clear trichomes, clear to milky. And we'll probably send it in and have it tested just to see if it hit the CBD. Then we'll probably press it out into some rosin, make some bubble hash out of it, some rosin.
Cool, man.
And then if it does have CBD, we'll know that we got probably 10,000 seeds. We'll know that there's probably good potential that the rest of the seeds can have it. So we'll plant.
How much longer till you get the dryer?
Oh gosh, it should be here within 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Cool.
You hope.
Yeah, I haven't got an email yet, so who knows?
I've heard so many horror stories about that company.
They'll get here when it gets here. I'm not too stressed about
Unfortunately.
it. If the building was up, I'd be stressed, but
Right.
I'm more, yeah.
Fortunately, you're planning ahead, but
Yeah, as long as
you're the only dog on that block and they know it.
Yeah, as long as I get it done by the end of October, I'm good.
I think you'll be good.
Yeah, me too. Oh,
That's the thing is with people having extra money this year is a lot of things have turned into back order items.
Yeah, if you're trying to get like treated wood, it's really hard to get up here right now. I don't know about down there, but
Yeah, it's hard to get here. Real hard.
I built a deck. My bad, Dan.
yeah, I mean, we built that huge ass fence, and luckily we did it early and got the treated wood because my other friend he can't even get wood to finish it. So.
That sucks.
15 minutes to hash time.
Just getting ready to look myself.
Set at 440.
Mine's set at 421, Dan.
Went in hot. I like the clouds.
Here you go, sequence. This is a throwback for you.
I've got one of those.
No, you don't. This is the one you had.
Oh, did I give it to you?
Yeah, I remember with
yeah.
With the what's that? A pretty pouch?
Yeah. I have one with a black tip.
I like these things, man, because it's just fully padded.
So nice.
Throw your pipe in there or whatever, and
protected.
The OG says hash time is all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mine says eat a bag of dicks.
Oh, I like yours. That one's a good one.
But see, look, I have one.
Hey, got a full bag. What is it?
It's a dab straw.
Yeah, it's just a straw.
This is my travel bag, so I keep this little dab straw just in case. And then I've never shown this on air. I keep this in there.
Oh, dude, it's been a minute
That's
since
sick.
I've seen that one. Yeah, I like that one.
It is.
That flat piece.
Cool.
I ain't got no cool pipes. I break everything, man.
He's got a couple of cool ones. He's got the what's that? The Simpsons bong is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I can't show the Simpsons bong. It's too dirty. I'll show you the Detroit piece. Where'd I get that one?
That's cool.
That's right, man.
I think Skilbo got me that.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I have some really cool friends. Very fortunate. Got this cap right here. I just used this morning. Tara got me that cap.
That's one thing is your stoner PSA is if you have any kind of smoking friends and you're trying to think of like, I'd really like to get them something for their birthday or something like that. Yeah, man, is just buy them a cheap hand pipe. It doesn't have to be, super expensive. You know what you guys pay for stuff. Just go into the store, find a cool piece, and give it to somebody for their birthday.
Buy him a case of papers.
This thing is heavy. Thank you. Very cool. Very cool.
Say, shout out on that. That guy's name is, I'm going to
see how
probably fuck
thick
this
that
up.
is.
Yeah, that is a Michigan glass blower. That's kind of why I got it for him. I thought it was kind of cool for the whole concept of the show and everything else. I think his name is Jesse Knott. He no longer makes glass anymore. I've pressed the people at BDT. Shout out to BDT in Roseville and Chesterfield. I go in there all the time. But I got the scoop from them on it because I have another pipe that's a really pretty ass Sherlock, super thick like that. And I really like that glass. So I seen it. We had a big birthday party on the 4th of July at Doc Tankenstein's house. Tara got to be there. Shout out to Finger Lakes Finest was there. Who else was there? High and Tight, Chris. They came through. So we had the big fireworks and everything else. The big boomas.
Big boomas.
And
shout out to Finger Lakes. I didn't get to particularly. He probably gave me the most expensive thing for my birthday when he brought the thing of fireworks. But we blew them all up, so I can't hold them up in front of a camera. So shout out to Finger Lakes Farms.
Hold up.
Finger Lakes Finest. My bad. I was like, that's not right. And for bringing out the Excalibur mortar shells, which is specifically exactly what I was trying to get. So.
Which is what you brought too. So we had 2 of those. Remember?
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Really cool. Big boomas.
You had a good time, man.
I've got a lot of 4th of July experience in my life for sure.
A lot of blowing things up experience.
Yeah. You can tell. Nobody got hurt. Nothing fell over. No horrible experience. Except for the lady coming over and telling us to quit.
He said she's still bitching about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope he didn't like her already and we didn't cause a problem.
No,
I don't think so.
no, they weren't cats.
Yeah, I don't think there's
He was
I
already.
don't think there's good blood there.
Hopefully he invites us back next year. That would be funny.
Annual.
I'm gonna get a bigger pack.
Doc, I'm coming back next year with 2 packs of Big Boombas.
Big bolas. Better tell her to get her dogs out that weekend.
Would be cool, with that swamp back there. It's just, I don't know. When you tell people this dude's got a swamp in his backyard, you think, ooh, but when you see it, it's just fucking cool shit, man.
Oh yeah.
So like when he was shooting the fireworks up, you're seeing the reflection off of this crazy swampy water and stuff.
It's really cool.
Yeah, he's got a cool spot.
9 minutes to hash, or any other concentrate of your choosing, and it'll be time to welcome the people whose alarm went off at 7 o'clock and they jumped out of bed and jumped on the show.
True that. Today I'm getting ready to harvest a bunch of autoflowers in the greenhouse. Also harvesting an indoor run of 2 plants of 9-pound hammer, 2 plants of Tropicana cookies, and the grow off strain, and then there's something else in there, sour melon.
So you are doing the anvils are coming down, right?
Anvils are coming down.
Okay.
Maybe some.
Maybe
I think
some
the
forge?
rest could probably use some more. Maybe some forge.
Yeah.
All right. What's your plan on dealing with this high humidity?
Dude, I've got a drying and curing room already. You didn't get to see it, but it's big enough for the autos at least.
What size tent did you do?
I bought so we had an existing building. There was a shed already, maybe like a 20 by 15 shed sort of style with a roll up door. And we turned that into, we put a 5 by 10 Vivo Sun tent in there. I ordered it. It was like $300. And then we cut a hole in the tent, which I thought was humorous as hell because they're, light proof and all that. So we cut a hole in the side of it and then mounted an AC unit in there. And then now there's an AC vents out right outside, and then a dehumidifier and a heater in there. So we should be able to hold a pretty good.
Well, it's kind of nice. You have your little autos as a test run for your main spot.
Well, and I have a Govee monitor in there, so it's been running for 2 days, and I know exactly what temp and humidity it's.
Oh, you get such kudos, man. Well, you know what the temp and the humidity is, but the humidity will change when you throw plants in there. But
right now it's 64 degrees and 60.77% humidity.
60, baby.
That's what it's set at. So
that's beautiful.
That's a heckin' good job, I think.
For sure.
And I do have a question about that. Should I put circulation fans in there?
I would put one in there at least.
Like at the bottom,
maybe on the
something?
floor.
Yeah.
Maybe on the floor, and just keep it on low and make sure that it's not, because it's going to create.
You don't want it to blow right on the plants or anything.
No.
But like the dehumidifier is going to move air. The AC is going to move air.
That's true too.
But you can take the louvers, you can kick the louvers down on the AC so that's pushing it to the floor. Because if you pushed it up, which would be the smarter way to do it, because you would think, try to keep it cooler up there, you may be hitting some plants. But with a 5 by 10, it depends on the size of your harvest and how are you going to hang in there? Are you going to put a bar across and put a bunch of coat hangers and do it?
So the tents come with those bars. So there's maybe like 5 crossbars already. I don't think that that's going to be enough, but I haven't put hangers in there yet. So like Dan says, test run. We'll figure out how many rows that I can have in there,
I took parachute cord and broke parachute cord from one end of the tent back and forth, like a scrog. Or you could take a scrog net, put it in there, and just hang over the scrog net too.
I did it. I took the cheap rope ratchets. If you go on one of your cheaper sites like Alibaba or eBay or whatever, you can find pairs of those for like $3 a piece, which I know is shocking when you get gouged for 20 for them. But you can, if you have an indoor wooden thing, just put a couple of eye hooks in and then snap that across there, put your stuff on, and you'll be able to crank it nice and taut. Just an idea on those. The other thing is to buy like a kick-ass drying rack. I have one, which I know that nobody else can be able to find, but it's got wheels, okay? and it's got 3 arms that will kick up, and you can lock in positions like this, and then there's bars that go across those. But when I think
Can't
about
you get like certain sort of like hat racks or bra racks or some shit, and they're very similar?
Yeah, you can find that. But it's nice that you can do that. Now, for me, since I can't really control the fans, I am currently drying in the place that I harvested. I just kick the lights off and turn the fan on low, and I try to make sure that nothing is being hit with the fan directly because I don't want it to dry out too quick. But I'm having to, it's like something I learned from Subcool a long time ago, was that if I had less than, like, if I had over drying conditions, that by pushing the plants closer together would help create like a microclimate around them of humidity, hopefully slowing the drying, and then not to remove all of the fan leaves if you are in a ultra dry situation too. So I would love to get 10 days out of these before they dry.
Yeah, I think you might. I'm aiming for 10 to 14 days myself.
Oh,
I'd love to get over 14 days, but the conditions are just really.
I got another question for you, Sequence. You're obviously not going to take all the plants down at once.
Hell no.
Yeah. Is that enough room?
I don't think it's going to be enough room. We've already talked about it. And Spartan's like, there's no way you've got enough room. And I was like, yeah, I know. So we'll see.
You might build in multiple layers.
That's the intention on the harvest. And then the dry, I think I'm going to be able to do at least 2 layers in that tent somehow. I'm going to have to figure out how to hang the second layer in there, but that should,
like I said, build a wooden frame and put a scrog net across.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Or a PVC frame.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, PVC would probably be way better.
I was just thinking about wood and like microbes or or whatever.
Pathogens in general. Yeah. 3 minutes.
3 minutes, and I found something really, really good to do this morning. I'll join
you,
and I have a little bit of the Tropicana cookies left from MI No Till Guy.
Nice.
So
that stuff is so good.
Oh man, it is.
I think I'm gonna dab some of my Droz rosin here.
Oh, grow off
rosin.
That's what I got.
I got enough jars that I can put it in the side and I'll only hit it on the show.
Right, exactly. What are you working with other than that? What other jars you got?
Oh, I've got some Yeti Stash LA Kush cake, which is my favorite one. I've got some sour apple. I've got Yeti's cake. I've got Red's Earth OG, and I've got some wedding pie live resin. And then
who did that?
That was from Wildwood Refinery or something. It's from a provisioning center.
Is it any good?
Yeah. And then I got some dry sift and some hash here.
All right.
That Earth OG smells so good. I mean,
real smooth.
Anybody that wants to know the lineage on that can go check out this week's late session. Red talked about that.
This is my trim bin hash, dude, from my last trim run.
So what do you think about your trim bin?
I wish it would focus.
Hash it.
I bet this would melt. I'm pretty impressed with it.
All right, I'm at the mute it because I'll probably be coughing like a bitch. I am smoking some strawberries and cream Yeti Stash premium rosin.
Mute up. We need some music to play over this.
Do 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 do. Dab with a bong rip chaser. I like it. I used to do those combo hits, Trey, on the show.
Did you know I'm fixing to cough?
I could do one. I'll do one. It'll be hard to hit my bong. It's a little bit dirty, but it's the down stem is full because I pull flour through my down. Skilbo always gives me shit. I snap all my bowls into the bong, so my down stem's full of flour, so it's hard to hit. I'm very old school bong user. All those screens and stuff, I do away with those things.
Poor Scobo's losing a lung down there.
Thanks for the tips, Peter Griffin. Come on, Scobo. You're supposed to make sure we don't have any dead time. What kind of hack job operation
That's all right, man.
are you
I'll
running
hold
there?
the fort down. I'll take this
Okay.
big old dab and hold the fort down for you guys.
I'm working on it. Shout out to the email for doing all the hard work. Scobo,
I
you're
tell
muted.
ya.
Fucking.
Those guys are the pros, man.
These are the best ever.
I was afraid that I was going to cough again, so I didn't want to blow somebody's eardrums out.
So affordable. Like,
And you know what? I left that email on that whole event, and it never even scorched that banger at all. I mean, I had to come home and clean it and stuff real good, but it does a
that's
good
awesome.
job.
You know, one thing I love about doing a dab, even though it makes me cough like crazy, is as a dirty cigarette smoker, really helps me clear my lungs out. It makes it hard to breathe at first, but in like the next minute and a half, my lungs will be like the clearest they are all day. So thank you, MI No-Till guy and Kenna Kitten, for that awesome fucking, man, I love this shit so much. I really savor this. This gets put up there with the for Girly I've been holding on to since the dawn of time, and some of the older stuff that I have from Dabsmiths. Shout out to both of them as well.
I love a good dab.
Dude, I seen that for Girly was working with some more of that lime stuff. So to me, I've always loved his lime and grapefruit, which he always laughs at me for it because he's like, dude, that was just like a knock together thing. So I don't know, but that combination of terps and cannabinoids is like money medicine for me daytime. Probably the best shit I've had.
Citrus terps, any strain that tastes like citrus has always been good daytime for me. So I don't know if that correlation is rang through true for you, but anything that tastes like that has always been upper.
Some oranges work for me, some don't. But at the same time, my daily driver that I used for years was a grapefruit diesel, which again, it falls under the citrus thing. It's just further over.
Shout out to Rasta K.
Rasta K is taking off. He gave us a $10 donation. Says, have a good day, panel. Got to cut it short. Take care of the ladies. Pleasure hanging out with you guys on Thursdays. One love, Growskis. Thank you very much.
Rasta. I follow him on
Thank you
Instagram.
very much. I really like our fans in Georgia because I'm a Falcons fan. So,
hey man, I told you I got family down there. I was in Georgia last 420. In fact, I went from what the hell was that? It was Kushstock. I went from Kushstock home directly back to the airport and then flew into Atlanta and was there for like 7 days.
It took you 7 days to drive out of Atlanta, didn't it?
No, man. The problem is it was like it always is jarring for me when I go down there because it's a red state. So I have to ask my brother, and I'll be like, "Hey, man, can you call some people and help me out and get me something set up?" So he always does, but it's just it's always a crapshoot. It's not like being home where everybody and
right.
You don't have to get dank manned.
You just got to stand behind 7-Eleven and get that brickweed, dude.
I said earlier in the chat that when Dan tells his stories for these wake and bakes, dude, they're like my favorite part of the show. Just like when Red goes on tangents on the late sesh, it's like I just sit back and laugh, man. You guys are the best.
I was just getting ready to say, like DOG said, next time you're there, just DM somebody and they'll make a green state for you. Now that you're an influencer, you can just be like, hey, I'm jet setting out to blah, blah, blah town, and somebody will hook you up.
Hell yeah.
In fact, that was our first like official Michigan Bros Grow Show get together. It was me, Sequence, and his brother. So good times.
Good times, man.
That's where it all began. Yeah, that dab got me all ripped.
What you get for trying to show off in front of me? You're like, look at this
showing
guy,
off.
sweet lungs, take this.
No,
if I took one of your dabs in that sweater, I'd be sweating my ass off.
Oh
Dan,
man, that's cold.
Who was it yesterday that showed a
Like
video
68 degrees
of doing a Dankman Dan dab?
That was Dro.
Dro, yeah.
Okay, Dro got
We're gonna
blown
call
up.
him Dro size dabs from now on.
I did about half of one after that, but I can't justify it both cost wise and
We use paddles around here for
dang straight.
paddles to
That's hilarious.
dab with. Yeah.
Paddles,
If you,
dude.
yeah, if you go
Wait a
to
minute.
Hobby Lobby or anything like that, it's
One of
always
those?
cheaper to buy them at a hobby store than it is to get them.
Yeah. You can, if you put in stainless steel carving tools. It'll
No.
come up.
These actually have a real medical name, and my wife knows the medical name.
They're called spatulas.
I don't know what they're called, but yeah.
They're really nice. Don't buy super cheap knockoff ones. Like I'm sure you can get a deal on them, but you don't want to put
My stainless steel.
Yeah, you don't want to put some coated thing
Right.
in a heated surface and
that you're trying to breathe in.
poison yourself.
Stainless steel only.
Like I don't have any problem paying $10 or whatever for one of these and feeling like it's safe. So I'd recommend you do the same. Rose said he coughed for 10 minutes after that dab. That is funny.
Yeah, I want one of them recyclers that he has. They're nice, man. I'm gonna upgrade. You watch.
It's pretty cheap too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like $99.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good ass deal.
It is.
For recycle
Yeah, you
bong?
can't be, I'm definitely gonna be looking for
I
Yeah.
think it was Tag,
Yeah, thick ass glass.
thick ass glass.
Yeah.
That's what this. I have one of the pieces of glass right here. Of course, it's dirty, but that's from Hash Times. I got this
Heck yeah.
from Doc Dankenstein. I'm trying to get the logo to come in. There it is. It puts the A sideways.
I spent about 3 hours in the garden last night, defoliating and bending and picking and feeding. Oh, cool.
Nice.
That's it.
They need to hire me for product pictures. You shouldn't put clear on top of white. What the heck?
Black.
Wow, that was really nice looking.
If you could see it.
Yeah, it works really good from what I've seen.
So you can buy that directly from them. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. $94.99 on thick ass glass.
Yeah,
Look, you can get it with 4 interest-free payments, guys.
Yeah.
Shop responsibly.
Just send them the $100, dude.
I like that flower bowl.
Yeah, I wouldn't smoke flour out of it.
I wouldn't smoke flour out of it either. It would plug
But
up
but
real
that was-
fast.
Yeah.
That was a flower bowl that it was shown with.
Yeah, I know. They don't do it justice.
Got to see my power
Get
washer.
the dual arm one, he says.
Oh, that was the wrong one I was showing. Sorry, Dro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a nice piece, affordable starter piece for sure.
The Gorilla Glue that I have from Skilbo, shout out to Spartan also because it's his cut. That is a really, really interesting plant. I thought I killed it the other night and I didn't. So really amazing. I just did not really expect. I really thought I killed it.
What'd you do to it?
I just didn't water it enough, I guess. Just because it's smaller than, I mean, it's in a 5, no, it's not in a 5 gallon. It's in a 3. I just didn't water it as much as I watered the GMO that's in a 5 gallon. But I didn't think it was going to be that big a difference, but I zipped my tent up a little bit more than I had been because I've been keeping it open. And it was way too much for it. And I came in the next morning and it was just like, and I was like, oh shit. I mean, because it didn't, I mean, and it felt light, but so did the GMO. So they're both sucking water up big time.
You want to tell them how you water?
It means they're growing fast.
I water with, I use a little insect repellent kind of situation that you would use outside, one of those 1 gallons. And then I just mix all of my stuff and then I pour in there and then I just am able to pump it up and spray. It's cut a bunch of time off of my watering time. Granted, I don't have a lot to water, but it's still cut. I can't imagine people that hand water, y'all that hand water, because I know what it takes for. I don't have barely any time to do mine. I mean, I struggle to get mine watered, so I definitely have to budget time for this. And but I'm having to bump up my water a whole lot, and I guess it's just because of the different plants. You know, I'm not used to this, and the grow off plants was completely different to this. So it's like I really feel like I'm kind of starting all over again.
Well, the mix that you're using is a really light mix. Is it
Um,
different than what you use with the grow off plants? Didn't you just switch over to
Or different media.
Yeah.
it's still the same kind of along the lines.
Okay.
My new stuff is in M3, so like my babies. But this stuff is in another like it's a perlite and soil mixture. It didn't seem like it's any less. It's supposed to actually incorporate and keep hold water more. I don't find that it's holding any water anymore. Everything is very, very dry.
I wonder if
that
you got a
3-gallon
cocoa. Some sort
I'm
of a
sorry?
cocoa. I'm wondering if you got some sort of a cocoa mix.
Mix
got
it in there
perlite.
with it.
Remember reading anything about cocoa on the ingredients. I've got the bag and everything still.
Right.
I keep all that stuff. But
And when you do that 3-gallon, how much water are you giving it at a time?
I always mix up. I mix up a gallon every time.
Okay,
Just
so
because
it gets a
I can't
gallon.
do-
How often?
Can only do what I've already got figured up. So I do a gallon for each one, no matter what.
Okay.
Because I'm a dummy.
Are you getting runoff every time you water?
Yes.
Okay, 'cause
And
that's important.
Please stop when I get about 10 to 20% of runoff. And then I let that all drain out, and then I come back in with my little sucker thing and suck all that water back up.
What do you use for that? Just a shot back?
Or a turkey baster?
A turkey baster?
Turkey baster. Okay.
I know people that have done that. It's
Right
like
on.
house plants and stuff, and you have a small garden. It works.
Okay, at Home Depot, they sell these little things. They're shop back that sit on top of a 5-gallon bucket.
Bucket head.
Yeah, there you go. 60
Well, I've got a shop vac that I could use to suck up, but it's not that much to drag the shop vac out for.
I gotcha.
You know, so I can just turkey baste it out.
Turkey baster. So, how did your move go? Are you still in?
I'm still in the process of doing that. I should have waited to do all this. I really should have not started doing another grow yet, but I'm doing it. So
The ambition.
I'm sorry.
Said I like the ambition.
Yeah. You know, I didn't want to not do it, and it's so therapeutic to me that I needed to get my hands back on. I needed to get my hands on them again, so I didn't want to not be without them, and I don't want to have to drive somewhere else every day to just be able to spend time with them right now, and that to me is like aggravating. So a little bit is still here, but the majority is over there, and yeah. So I've got my little bits that I've got my hands on and can be, but they're getting ready to go by soon because I can't flip them to flower here. So that's just, I don't have that kind of time frame, I don't think. So at least I'm trying to be sensible about it. And I don't think I really, I probably shouldn't do it here. So they're going to be going all the way by. It's probably in the next, I'd say next week, 2 weeks, probably a week.
Right on.
But I'll make it work somehow.
I'm sure you will.
I will. I'm just such at a disadvantage right now with the GG4 and the GMO. They're just hugely different in size, shape. Yeah. It's almost like each one needs their own separate area because the GG4 is very bushy, and I took a bunch off of her last night. I stripped her whole bottom up and clean that all up, and really nice looking plant, very nice structure.
So what I've done for years is before I got a bed was I used to use milk crates, and so I would stack whatever number of milk crates that I needed and put the plant on to try to make a flowering canopy that's the same, and you could do the same thing yourself. Like you're not using humongous pots, so if you just get 2 milk crates, you can like I said, stack those up. Or
I didn't even think to do that.
Yeah, or you can get with like I said before, if you get the like less than $20 cheap plastic PVC shelving things, where it's just the plastic piece and you put the 4 pieces in, and then you can stack them up. You can buy those and then just get your own PVC and couplings, and you can make it couplers, and make it whatever height you want to. So you could adjust that table up or down as need be. So.
Okay. Great.
It's that cheap home grow shit and I say cheap home grow shit, meaning no knock against the podcast. That's where I came from. But that's the whole point of cheap home growing, was trying to make something work out of nothing, the MacGyverism.
Why break the bank if you don't have to?
That's right, man. I've used paint cans.
Solve it how you have to solve it this time, and then fix it the way you have to fix it the time afterwards. But get through the grow. That's what you're trying to do. Yeah, exactly.
Operation Grow asks, if you're handed a pack of seeds and told to grow them out and you'll get X number of phenotypes to look for, we've all heard that, right? Look for this one or look for this one. If they all popped and they're grown in the same environment, my understanding is that if it was one genotype, you'd see the same phenotype expression across all of them. And I would say you will not have that. The evolution or the description from Berkeley says an organism's genotype is the set of genes that it carries, but the phenotype is all of its observable characteristics. So what you can see, so like the phenotype stuff, what we would call that. So each seed would have its own genetics, but the phenotype would be only the parts that you can see. I think you would see a lot of variation still.
And that would change, wouldn't it, if you had like a S1 or a S5, would be less phenotypes than S5, right?
In cannabis so far, yeah, but technically no. So like if you take very, very stable genetics and breed them together, F1 is actually the most desirable. So
the most variable.
There's no variance actually. So like corn, for example, hybrid corn that's like grown out in the fields, you see it. It's all the same size. All the corn is exactly the same. Those are F1 seeds. So the problem is because cannabis is diploid or whatever the hell, I can't remember the exact name for that, XXYY, has a lot of recessive traits, lots of genetics. So we get a lot more variation. So instead of being able to do F1s like they can do in corns, they take a super stable parent genetics and make an F1 that has the most vigor possible, which is the reason, or a big reason why as cannabis growers we grow F1s, because we want plants that are going to grow really fast too. We just pick the F1s that we like the most. We still have a lot of variation in F1 in cannabis because breeders don't start with stable stock, for one. So good F1s, you can tell the difference, like Primal Punch F1, for example. We know a bunch of people that have grown it out, and you have very similar expressions on them too when you smoke them. So that means the breeder had stable genetics when he started. But you can also have F1s that vary a ton, and that means that they had cross stuff that wasn't worked before they did the work, bred it. And the way that you can get that out is by going far down the genetic line. So like the anvil in the greenhouse you saw is an F8. So that's 8 generations somebody took of getting it, selecting the one that looked like its parent and then, offspring. And you saw that in the greenhouse, they're all the same height, very similar size, bud size. The structure of them, all of them was almost the same. So like that's a big difference in cannabis. So if you want stable genetics in cannabis, you got to go really far, like F4, F5, etc. But in the future, there will be a day when somebody's going to claim to have stable F1 seeds that will be like homogeneous. All of them will be the same. And scientifically, that's possible. So look for that because that's how seeds are grown in like every other industry. So it's really interesting. That's all of that. That's my little genetic ramble this morning.
That was a nice little educational bit.
Thank you.
I think that I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I can see where it's like a pivot point here. I can see where there's a disconnect between what growers want and what like patients or smokers want. In other words, whether you're a patient or whether you're just a recreational person, if somebody had a pack of fire, you're like, oh my God, I can't get enough of this stuff. What is that? And you decide to start growing it yourself because you legally can have 12 plants in Michigan recreationally. It would really suck if you couldn't find the exact same thing that you started growing for in the first place.
Right.
But
and you're
as
very
a grower,
unlikely to find the exact same thing, right?
exactly.
Like we know 3 different phenotypes similar, but not the same of crescendo in our circle.
Yeah.
But that's just what we capped. I mean,
but that's just in those 2 environments. It would be very
30s,
interesting
yeah.
to see what would happen if you guys did a switch where, you know, at some future point, you both flipped clones. And so you grew out Dan's 2 different phenotypes and he grew out yours. And then to see what that environment along with the phenotype expression is and to see what you each would bring out of it. Because I found that all of the cuts that I've gotten from you guys are all a little bit different when I grow them out. And that's for a zillion different reasons. So that's also part of the issue too. A lot of this isn't replicatable, you know.
Well, at a high level it is. So like if you get if you're growing commercially in all of the room, if my room and your room both had the same environment, it's irrelevant. Like the cut's the same, you know.
Right.
So like that's how wedding cake is wedding cake, etc. Gorilla glue is gorilla glue, etc. So like if you grow it in soil, you grow it in soil. If you grow it in soil under HPS, you're gonna get the same result as the next guy that grows it in soil under HPS. So it's interesting. Welcome, Goodrich, to the Growski family, dude.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard. Have a hoop and a dab.
Oh, every time you get a new person, Dan's got to take a dab?
Ooh.
Or
Right.
Dan's got to smoke a roast joint? Which is it? Let us know,
I'll do a
chat.
dab.
Even he doesn't want to go back in for that.
I'm hitting the roach joint.
Yeah, like Peter Griffin says, if you and I both grow deep chunk Afghani IBL, it's internal bread line, it would be more consistent, but my environment will make differences to yours. But unstable lines are widely different. And I agree. Sorry, it's hard to read when the chat bounces as you read.
Can you talk what an IBL is for people that aren't familiar
So
with that
in
term?
cannabis, most people start calling their strains IBLs at F7. So if you take the Pundit square all the way down, F7, if cannabis plants weren't diploid plants, would be an IBL. I personally don't think F7 is enough to make it an IBL.
Uniform.
But yeah, but that's the convention that people use with other plants. So people have used it in cannabis.
Man, we've had it all today. We've had science talk. We've had a little bit of Dankman Tales. We got to come up with better names for that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But you see the clever side of it, the tails being the tail of the joint. People used to call roaches tails. Yeah, that's all right, man.
Yeah, IBL is interbred lines. So like an F1 of seeds, so like Primal Punch F1 we talked about. So then F2 is if you take those F1 seeds and breed them together, then you have F2 Primal Punch. You breed them together, then you have F3 Primal Punch. Every time you breed them together, you select for parents that look just like the ones you started with. And you keep doing that until the genetics get more similar every time. If you follow Pundit Square, theoretically, after 7 generations, all of the seed genetics will be the same. But it doesn't work in cannabis, in my opinion. It's very close. Very close, though. Inbred lines, yes. Diogi said we got a new member, so I got to do a bong rip and a dab in the same breath. So
what?
I'm doing it.
Doing it, man. Doing it.
It sounds like a job I've got to do.
All right.
What are you, Phil Collins now? Will the bang, bang, bang?
I like Phil Collins. Like you said that live on air.
Ooh-wee. Look at you, Tara. What is that?
I had to go in the house and get that. This is Michigan Medicated's New England rock candy taffy. Love this, and it is gorgeous.
Predicated breeding on that. And
Predicated breeding. M2,
the
the champ. She's a boss. Love her.
She's
Shout
your
out.
hero.
Dedicated girl.
Love the bong. Get the LA Kush cake since it's my favorite one.
Yeah, I really want to try that. Oh, look at that's like the one.
Ooh, that's not much. That was just a little bit of a dank man and a dro in there left, and that was it.
Yeah, there's only one dab left there, Sequence.
Probably
The
two. Probably two for me.
West
Right on.
LA.
Especially when I got to do the combo. I gotta
When
be
you're
able.
doing the terp saver towards the end, I get that.
I have to, yeah. I got another jar. I can always get another small one out of that jar and make a big one, you know. So load up the email here.
They don't all have to be big.
That's what he said.
So what's your garden chores for the day?
Mine?
Yeah.
I have to do some cleaning. I try to like wipe down the walls and stuff, not with like anything, but I always like just if there's any dust or anything, I just take one of those like dry fiber rags and wipe down the walls. I wipe down my light periodically just to make sure there's nothing sitting in there. I just tend to, I don't know, I think it's better maybe just to try to keep it as clean as possible. I'm in a cellar, so in a tent, but in a cellar still. But
Right.
But other than that, that's all I've got to do garden wise. I've got some tomatoes to pick.
Lucky you. How tall are your tomato plants this year?
Taller than me.
Yeah.
They got a little extra something this year.
That extra runoff you just went out there and poured it on tomato plants. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I like did it on one half and not the other. And I kept getting asked, what's wrong with this side? I didn't do anything.
The real question is, what's right with the other one?
Exactly. Actually, the best.
I like how he turns that around.
The best plant out there, and this is what this to me is like surprising. So I started plants from some tomatoes from seeds this year. I had one live out of everything that I brought to seed. One of them lived, and it's like died 3 times, and it still lived. It is the best plant out there, and it is in an easy swap pot. Shout out to Easy Swap Pots right now. It is by far my best plant out there, and I will be posting about it because I got others out there crappy looking compared to this. And it's just an all-around good plant. You can tell the total difference. And it's the same plant that I've got of others, just in an Easy Swap pot.
Telling
Look at you with all these science experiments going
Shout
on.
out to Easy Swap. They're
I'm bored.
Terra Nation Farm.
yeah. Easy Swap's our first official show sponsor.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool of them to I mean, we supported them from the beginning since they were a small company, you know, because we believed in their product. It obviously works well. So it's been good to see it work well for a lot of people.
Dude,
The OG says, when are they going to sponsor us? They already did.
It don't just work well. It works extremely well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'll say this. I would have no problem transplanting auto flowers out of an Easy Swap pot. I'll say that.
Because you're not going to induce as much stress as you would
Hell no.
having to manhandle it, flip it over, squeeze the pot,
Absolutely.
root zone, all that good shit.
Easy Swap life, baby.
Yep. Yeah, I do have to give them major props for that. And I've never done, I've always just planted right into the ground. Everything else is right in the ground too. And so that might be, I don't know, maybe that's the difference. You know, it's in a pot, you know, it's being able to air and prune itself. But you should see the roots growing into the ground from the Easy Swap pot. I just let it keep on just going. It's pretty cool.
Trying to think of some cool ideas of what we can do now that we're like partnered up. And one of the ideas I gave them is maybe we can have our own colored trim and threaded stuff on our pots.
Oh yeah.
So like fans of the show could have their own version, I guess. So we'll see about that. That might be pretty neat.
You know, talking of weird MBGS swag, I really, really want to give you props for the dab board that you made, like the dab station.
I've got another one coming too, but that one's gonna be for me.
That's
I'm gonna
sweet.
use it for photo backdrops and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
But the guy that makes them, the farmhouse, is gonna. I'm gonna have him make them for our website, and we're gonna vend them.
Yeah, man. They're pretty sweet. You just have to check them out.
I'm sure we could get the logo put on the pots, but it'd probably be expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, but that would be really fucking cool.
Maybe on tags that they could sew on. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe I can look into that. Like little loops, they could sew onto them.
Like where it says like on the Nitlo Sun bags, would be. Yeah.
I'm just sitting here thinking about, you said on the website, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, this is going to have to be one huge server to house all these hours of content that we have all put together on this channel. Like, that's crazy, man. There's like at least 6 hours a week, and when Frugal comes back, that'll go up to probably 14 hours a week. Get the joke.
I'm excited to see how it goes. We're working on it.
You guys are dedicated to the cannabis community, that is for sure.
We just always have said that if we're going to hang out, like, shit, might as well record.
Fortunately, the website's on lower priority, and then the plants are. So it's taken a little bit of time now that I got the giant greenhouse, but I'll get it done.
Come wintertime, after you get done trimming, you'll have plenty of time.
Summer about this time.
Oh, then it'll be spring, and you'll have to start all over again.
Well, when it's December and it feels like there's 36 hours in a day, that.
All right, let's fast forward ahead now. Go to your greenhouse in the spring. When are you going to start eating it and start propagating in there?
Well, we're looking at adding heat and stuff already, and we'll probably run autos really early in the year. As soon as it starts staying above like 50 degrees in there, maybe. I bet we could do it.
So that's early April for you guys down there?
Probably.
Okay.
And then in early June, you can put photos out there.
So you'll get a 30-day jump.
And then July, you can put more autos out there to fill up for the other ones that already came out.
Right.
Yeah, my second set, I only have one. My second auto, which is my second one I planted this season, it's that's the same as my photo period now as far as bud production.
One of the things that I thought was really smart is the way that you guys have just put the autos in there and kind of logistically planned for them not to be as large. They're not in as large pots. They're not as tall, and they get tucked in and out through the aisleway. That, you know what I mean? So you're really utilizing all of the space in your greenhouse. You just kind of slide them over a little bit when you want to go through and get to what you got to do. And I really want to give you and Fresh Cut props for that, because for a first time, trial balloon experiment in the greenhouse, to me, it looks like you guys have been really hitting on all cylinders. And I know that that's due to the cannabis community that we have. And, more specifically, sure, Spartan Grown has been instrumental in trying to, offer some of his advice on his experience of what he would do. So,
well, I think everybody's been able to offer a lot of good advice and stuff. And then Fresh Cut and I both are we do what everybody does when they sit down and smoke. We just talk grow, and we bounce ideas off of each other. We say, oh, this is the problem that we're going to run into. And basically it's me going, this is going to be a problem in a month. How do we fix it? And we've done that step by step. So like we added cages, et cetera, and got to where we are now. The spacing of the photos and the autos had a lot to do with Spartan, and we were originally going to try to do like a checkerboard pattern. Initially, we were going to put all the autos on one side of the greenhouse because they were going to be shorter, so you'd have better airflow. And that ended up being like, I thought about that a little bit, and I was like, that's a dumbass idea, because once the autos are harvested, then you have half of an empty greenhouse.
And drag those big pots.
Yeah, it would be brutal. We'd break a bunch of stems and stuff. So the way it is laid out now, I don't think you could get more photo period plants in there.
Nope.
So I'm pretty pretty ecstatic about how it's turned out. And yeah, we're getting ready to harvest the autos just in time so they can get the hell out of the way, and we can grow out these photos some more. I put up those pictures in the chat yesterday of like 5 or 6 stages of the greenhouse, like every 10 days. It's crazy to see how fast. Yeah. Crazy. Because when you're doing it, it just seems like each day runs into the next day. You don't really realize how much time or how little time went by. So to see that time lapse, it's pretty cool. I recorded a time lapse in there too of this grow.
I'm excited to see it the next couple of weeks. It's just going to get better.
Yeah, the last 10 days, the plants got like double size.
It's tremendous looking in there.
Now, do you feel like you're going to need a double net on those?
I don't know. I don't feel like we probably will, but we might. We'll see how big they get. They're only sticking up above the net by like a foot or so, maybe 2 feet. So like depending on the strain, that should be sturdy enough to keep them up. But if any of them are like GG4 or something, they'll start flopping around. So strain dependent, we'll see, I think.
Well, and this is being the first season as well. You're trying everything in this environment, and then whatever works is going to be kept and ran basically in perpetuity until it gets bumped out.
Right. You just kind of shuffle them out based on stuff like yield or whatever, PM resistance, insect resistance. Like those are the primary things you would breed for outdoors. You know, you want to make sure that you don't rotate plants in that get PM or anything
Goes
like
for
that.
indoor too.
Yeah. Indoor, it's a little bit less relevant these days because we have such good environmental controls, but definitely.
As a cheap ass basement grower, I know that I have had some plants that were bulletproof and just would not show any signs of PM. And then I've had other ones where I ran it the one time, got PM, said, nope, done with you, killed it off, went back, grabbed the clone, killed it off. I'm not even going to play silly ass games because now I've got to go through, some major worrying for a little bit.
Only the strongest survive.
Yeah, man.
When we have this many seeds and this many friends and this many clones, it's like, why are you going to grow anything that sucks?
Yeah, that's it too, man. One and done.
Yeah, for real. If it's in any of our gardens, it's probably pretty decent because there's no reason to grow anything that sucks.
I've never had a problem letting plants make cameo appearances. And that's that one and done shit where it's like, hey, cool. And then I end up with a nice jar of some, weird exotic to me smoke. But I didn't particularly, like the way it grew or anything else. Okay, it's a one and done, it's gone. Cool. Let's keep on rocking and rolling, moving on.
Yeah, you gotta fit a certain pattern in my garden to stay. You gotta be able to be nice and trainable and have it.
Gotta be across a platinum.
Oh, that helps. That's I like that. But yeah, man, it's gotta be a winner, man. There's no room for losers, that's for sure. Why?
Have you washed any of those platinums yet?
No.
Oh, that's going to be interesting to see how they yield on that.
Yeah, they should do good. Select Vino, I think, has had some pretty good luck with some in-house genetics. So.
What kind of bags do you use?
For we use full mesh bags. We don't have a particular brand name. They're full mesh.
Yeah, that's what I just picked up with some full mesh bags.
That's that good stuff.
Red was talking about, because I have the same ones he has, and he was excited because he's like, man, I'm just going to use these to just dry sift with, man. Since it's a full mesh, just...
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty hard on the bags, but...
I'm sure it is.
I was going to bed last night, and I was telling my wife, I'm like, man, I can't wait for winter. And she'd never heard me say it before. She's like, what is wrong with you? Like,
so funny.
Yeah, by then we'll be able to dry sift.
Mm-hmm.
Or hashing and all that. It's gonna be fun.
You're a changed man, Dan.
I am, man. This is the first side. Typically I'm looking forward to like bow season, but yeah, it's all hash season.
You'll have to have your name changed. You'll have to turn into Hashman Han.
Instead of getting up at 4 in the
We'll see,
morning to
man.
go hunting,
I
you wake up
got
at 4 in the
a
morning.
lot to learn, so I'm still just
That 3 a.m. hash.
At
whatever
3 a.m.
it
hash
takes.
runs, dude.
I'm gonna dedicate all of my resources to making quality end product.
That's why you fit in here, man.
Thank you.
You got to start doing that so you can keep feeding your dabs. And
Absolutely.
you know what though? I'm impressed that you have no flour, so you're riding the
I
ropes
have
coach,
flour.
but you
Oh,
still
flour.
have concentrates, and you know what I mean. You're not
Look how clean
Yeah.
Tara's banger is.
well because
Well
she's been
done.
wiping it for 3.5 minutes.
Proud of
That's
her.
good though.
This is the last of my rosin. I'm almost out of rosin, so it's gonna be tough. You can't buy it up here. You can't go to the provisioning centers and get it. You know, they just don't sell it up here. But I got lots of friends.
Yeah, man. You schedule a trip to Greenhouse. I'll make sure you bring rosin back with you.
Right on, man. We'll definitely do something for sure. Gotta do it soon before they get too big.
Either way, I'll give you some scissors and tell you to get to work.
That's it.
I knew that was coming. That's the thing. I don't want to be there at the end.
Bring a hammock.
Bring a hammock, whatever, man. I'll help you out.
Hang
I
out.
don't want to be there at the end, he says.
No, I'm kidding. I won't have.
You're gonna have plenty to do yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic about it, but I don't have nowhere near like you guys.
EB says, I think I might try pressing my sugar leaf trim today. Is this a good idea? What do you think, Dan?
It depends on the trim. I've had a buddy, you know, back in the day, Birdwatcher, had brought me over some Gorilla Glue trim that shit would press. It would throw a return. I personally wouldn't do it. What I do with my trim is I sift it out. If you have something you're able to sift it out with, get the trim really cold, freeze it, try to maintain it at a cold temperature, sift it out, collect your trichomes and press that. That works really, really good. Really good. Tastes good. But if you don't, just do what you got to do, my friend.
Say if you can find it, you can definitely use ice and stuff or dry ice. It's not the best quality, but you'll get a lot more return and probably better than just pressing the trim itself.
Yeah. And dry ice, I know Myers
Everybody's
sells
Yep.
dry ice. So
Meyer has dry ice.
It's right in the front by the
yeah. And what you can do
service
with that
desk.
is you actually get the dry ice. You know, be very careful. Use some gloves. Protect your hands, guys, because it'll hurt you. Put it in a bubble bag, which is, you know, a bubble washing bag, and you just shake your trim or whatever you're putting in there, and it'll give you a dry sift, sort of. It'll have a lot of contaminants, but it'll still be pressable.
Yeah, don't continue to shake once you see the color start changing.
Yeah. I shaked over top of a mirror, and you could actually see the color change when it was plant matter coming through and not trichomes.
Usually you would shake a little bit and you get your best, your gold, and you would separate that, and then you would go back through for a second shake, and then you know what I mean. Then you have that grade.
Yeah, like an edible grade or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be way more pressable than the trim itself is going to be, even if it is a little bit darker than you wish it would be.
And you know, you don't have to press that. You can actually collect it, top holes with it or whatnot too.
Yeah, it'll get you high as
The
hell.
good thing about that is it's pretty much immediately usable, you know, versus a bubble hash.
Stoned.
Full circle today in the conversation.
Yeah, I'm stoned. It's nice to be able to answer so many chat questions, though.
Almost 71 in chat this morning. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Purple Thumbs listening in at work. Thank you.
Dedicated guys. All of them are. Thank you.
GOG16 is reminding me a lot of you in chat, Dan. Very
In the
telling
early
everybody to
days.
like the show and
Yeah.
to
I
join.
would be telling everybody to like the show. I'm not very good at maintaining the show and doing chat. It's hard for me. So I'm old.
It's hard for everybody.
Yes, it is.
We make it look easy.
Yeah, you do.
Good morning,
How you
Stabby.
You speak for yourself. I don't make it look easy at all. I make it look overly complicated.
Well, in my opinion, it is overly complicated, but
Morning, Stabby.
stay irie. Indeed, man.
But yeah.
Sequence was trying to teach me like I was his grandfather on Monday night. He was like, okay, Skillbo, I'm going to show you how to do this so that you can get on here and get this the right way. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, all right, write this down. So I open my phone and I'm typing the shit in, right? And go through like all these steps. And it was like, okay, now hit this button, blah, blah, blah. And he's still talking, right? And I was like, oh, he said hit this button. So I hit the button because I've had to do this like walk along on every screen with him. And then poof, that's how we went early with the late sesh. The late sesh wasn't so late on Monday. So a little extra content.
That's all right.
The early sesh.
Early sesh.
I was there. I watched you guys.
It was
That's
so
our-
funny.
It was. But that was all right. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody in the chat enjoyed you guys showing up early. So it was cool.
Well, see, that's where if you actually have notifications turned on for the channel, you would have known that we went live early rather than just saying, oh, it's time for the late sesh.
Good point. We were setting up the premiere lobby. So
Premiere lobby, there we go. That's
And,
what it's called.
which is why there was a chat to be that we could be excited that you guys were a little bit early.
Yeah.
So it worked, but we were a little early. They get to see a little behind the scenes.
Technical difficulties there.
Good thing behind the scenes, it's all the same. Good morning, abolished.
What?
Morning. I know.
Abolished?
That's what I just said. I was like, what the hell?
Shocked.
I am too.
He must have something important to do.
Yeah, his
I
fish
know.
probably need fed or some shit.
Yes.
You'll get up for the fish.
Got just a pH in the
He'll get up for the fish. I know he's not getting up for the wake and bake.
School's back in.
Oh, yeah, school is in too.
School is back. Did you ever find out when your kids go back to school, mister?
My kids? I
Yeah,
don't think they're back.
I don't listen to the recordings.
I don't.
Nah, they just postponed ours like another week.
I don't think they're back.
Really?
No, because they're having an issue with like online is being done through like another, like a third party. It's not even through the school district, and it's not a good situation. So hopefully they get that all sorted out and safety comes first.
Yeah, I hope they figure it out.
Kids
Even
have
on
been-
the healthiest of years, kids are a cesspool of disease. So
Sniffing, coughing, sneezing, dripping.
licking each other, mouth hugs.
He sneezed on me. Like, dude.
Licking bus windows and seats and eating snails and
Kids do some stupid shit.
There's
That's
quote for
Spoken
the
from a
day.
mom.
Hell yeah.
exactly right.
It's too stupid shit.
That's right.
Some folks don't.
some of us never grow out of
this.
this.
Yes, yeah.
We started the show by saying how we
You said
finish
some folks,
sentences.
and I said some of us. So I meant me. You meant other people. So yeah, whatever.
We both met you.
Exactly. We finish each other's sandwiches.
Always a good time. Oh, look at this. We even Bobsy twinned this shit, and I showed up 2 minutes
Wait.
before the stream. So
Yeah, man.
We're all on too.
Except for me.
that's because you're promoting your
It's a-
brand.
But you've got your
No,
sweatshirt.
no,
Follow Dankman Dan.
no, really, man.
I want that
I
sweatshirt.
just got the washer and
It is a
dryer
nice
installed
sweatshirt.
yesterday, so we were shirts not clean.
One of these days, we're gonna get those hoodies in green.
Okay,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, we got to find a different place to get them because they're stupid expensive to
Anything.
order
yeah.
any small amount of them.
I might have a place for you, Dan.
Nobody wants to pay $70 a t-shirt.
Right, exactly.
So
Yep.
It's you know, I just got a couple for me and the wife, and we only got them just so we could go to events and.
Mhm. That's how we did it first, right? Skilbo and I had shirts, and that was it. And then now I have these ones, but it took a lot of shopping around and a lot of research and a lot of figuring out to figure out how to do it and be able to give them to people for free, or be able to give them to people for like $25 or whatever. You know, you got to definitely look around and make sure you can get.
Everyone in my family has a Michigan Bros Grow shirt. My son wears it to his provisioning center at work.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, man. We support Michigan Bros.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to bring them to market it. Like I said, a very because you're seeing it's hard to produce them at a low cost. So
Yeah, man. I ordered 10 T-shirts and 2 sweatshirts, and it was like $375. So how do you sell that? You know what I'm saying? So we just gave them away to friends.
My struggle is hats because I want to get hats made.
Man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get embroidered hats like this.
Yeah, it's got to be embroidered.
But they're like $30 a piece for us to make them.
Yeah.
So there's no way we can make any money.
Wrong side. Here we go. There, see.
No, there's no money in merchandise.
It's just
Unless you're manufacturing it yourself.
Right.
Well,
Well, it's just when you have to buy
so,
hundreds and
yeah,
you know, like I order for 500 is where you start to save money.
If I buy 30 hats, it's going to cost $800, $700.
Yeah, it's tough.
Marketing with the Michigan Bros.
Hey, coming soon. Hey. Hats, though, for real. I've been looking.
I would wear one.
Finger Lakes wearing a shirt. Thank you.
Oh, you need one of them neck things, them face mask things.
I feel like it's bad to profit off the thing.
I wouldn't. I gotta wear them sons of bitches anyway.
I do too.
I'm wearing a Advanced Nutrients one, and I don't even like Advanced Nutrients, but the cannabis one related I got. So,
man, Advanced.
We got those at the Cannabis Cup in Clio. Yeah, and they came in handy. They were giving them out at that Advanced Nutrients booth. Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 of us there. I had everybody go up there and get samples. I had up like 5 bottles of everything because everybody gave me their samples. That was cool. I burned up a bunch of plants with it.
Yup. I have some Flawless Finish still from Advanced, but I only got it because I was trying to replicate the ingredients. So Flawless Finish has sulfur in it, and that's why I use sulfur all the way through flush. And that's why my plants taste so good, Scobo.
Yeah, man.
It's the only thing that you can't give Advanced the credit for it because a lot of the flushing products across all of the lines have sulfur in them. So if you take that into account, there's probably a little bit something to that. So I would try Epsom through flush if you haven't.
I was watching something on that, and it was talking about sulfates, and that's what they kept saying was that the cheapest way for you to be able to do it was to use just regular old Epsom salt that doesn't have any extra oils or anything added to it. Just add that to your waterings.
1 gram a gallon, easy peasy. It doesn't mess up your ppm or your pH very much. It gets rid of those purple stems and purple leaf. What are those called? Petioles?
Yeah. I used to use it as a foliar a long time ago to deal with plants and veg.
No, I have to use it when I run that Primal Punch F1. It's a heavy mag.
That's what I have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that, but I was going to ask you on that. It's like, okay, I don't know if it's just because, you know, it's a relatively newly transplanted clone, so.
And it's got that leaf, I forget what's that leaf vacation or whatever it's called, where
variegation,
where it kind of looks funny, but
that's cool.
It's just the genetics, man.
Yeah, it's a good one. You guys are gonna like.
Well, I'm excited because, like I said, I have tried the F1 and the F2. Shout out to Eagle Gardens on those. He and I smoked the Primal Punch back in, I think it would be like March. It was before all of this shit happened, maybe February. And I was really, really happy with both of them. So it'll be interesting to see what comes through on this one. And that is shout out to Medgar 1 and MG1C, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna find really small golf ball size.
They're dense though.
Rock hard nugs, but lots of them. I mean, this thing throws it out. I have one seated out on me. Got crossed with something in the tent somehow, and I popped 2 of those beans out of the Primal Punch. Wedged one out. It threw it in the flower tent. It hermed. We chopped down, threw it out. Never finished it out. I threw the other one in the tent and flowered that one out. And I just chopped that one down, and it turned out really, really nice. Those are the ones I was showing you the pictures of yesterday. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the Primal Punch.
Love Primal Punch. Later, Cave Diver. Have a good day, man.
But yeah, it turned out really well. Really well.
Yeah, great job, Dan. Stacked her up nicely.
Holding her up there with your Michigan hand. Yeah, man. Oh, we are coming up on that time, aren't we?
It flew by this morning.
It's a fun show, though. Got to talk genetics, got to talk hash, got to talk geography.
Dank Man Tales.
Got to talk about shooting out freaking lights.
Yeah.
So if I end up in jail and you can't find me, just kidding.
We talked about it here.
I'm not gonna shoot this man's light out. I'm not.
I'll do it,
talk
dude.
about it.
I'm your friend.
I'm gonna go talk to him first.
This episode is going to be known as Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
The last time I talked about anything similar to that was when I was holding up this pipe and we got pulled off the air. And I think it's because I said the M word. And I don't know, but YouTube pulled us down. It was funny as hell. We had to go back live. It was on the late sesh. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I seen that. I remember there was part A, part B, or 1 and 2 or something.
Yeah. I said a story and I think I got us pulled down because it was like a little too graphic and how heavy this pipe was. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Funny.
If it can go wrong, it can go wrong in the late session.
Exactly.
But it usually is flawless.
Well, guys, does anyone want to do a little final shout outs before we get out of here?
Dude, if you went back through and took all of the shout outs that I've already come through with, there'd probably be 24 of them. Yeah. And that's just it. Just show love to people, man. You know what I mean? If you see something and you like it, or you smoke something and you like it, let them know. I mean, shit, you like it when people let you know that you grow the fire. Pass that love along. If somebody taught you something like you see us do all the time here, just show respect to people. That's all. And
share the show with your friends.
Ooh,
so we have more people in the chat.
Nice.
Because it's super cool.
Yeah, because we're going to be back here again next Thursday morning.
Yeah.
What time?
6 a.m.
Bam. Tara?
Hey, thank you guys so much. I want to shout out Porch Farmer. And I got to try a couple different things over the weekend. Grateful Breath and his Swamp Sticks. Excellent. Really different. It was nice to try something new. And thanks, shout out to Tommy also, Trichomes. He brought some different stuff also to us to try. Great weekend, great food. Shout out Fresh Cut and his great wife for offering up their home and just good people. It was really a nice weekend. Sequence, you did a great job with the greenhouse. I'm so impressed. I could sit there forever and not move and just be so it's very
It's
nice.
hot in there sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to get hot, but it's very nice. I was so impressed and in awe, and wow, I've gotten to see so much good stuff this year, and I've never thought that I would see grows the way that I've seen them. And I'm so thankful and so blessed, and it's because of you guys, and I'm very thankful for you. So thank you, chat, and I really appreciate everybody. Thank you, and I hope everybody has a great day, and thanks for sharing time with us this morning.
Fresh Cut Farms blush out there, Tara.
Thank you, Tara.
You're welcome. I mean it.
Dan, you have anything you want to say on the way out of here, sir?
Set, man. Thanks, chat, for showing up and spending your morning with us, and waking and baking, and listen to us ramble on.
Thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, please share the show with your friends. We really appreciate that. It gets more people involved, more learning in here, more questions, etc. Thank you for the donations, joining the membership. Very much appreciate that stuff. We will continue improving things, even here on the Wake and Bake show, where it's perfect. You guys have a good day.
Cheers.